Do you ever stop and think about where music is coming from? Like when you're watching a great movie and you hear this big booming music come up and it is corresponding with what's happening in the show. Or maybe you hear something boop, 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 something that's kind of indicating something's coming. Or you hear music that sounds
recording
eerie and you start to feel scared even though there's nothing on the screen yet. You hear that music. Do you ever stop and think, I wonder who thought of that particular bit of music? I wonder what it was like for them to jot down their ideas, put them onto their computer into some software, create sheet music for instrumentalists to play, a conductor to conduct, and then somebody recorded it, somebody mixed it, somebody mastered it, and somebody timed it with what's happening in the movie. It's a lot, but you can imagine it when I talk about those things to you, because you've seen a lot of those things in different parts of your life. You know that things that aren't a rock or a tree, somebody did something to make that happen. Little kids don't know that. So here's a story. When I was really little, we had a record player. It sat on a table and somebody showed me how to carefully drop the needle onto the line of the song I wanted to listen to, and I could listen to songs. It was really fun. But okay, so this tells you this was a super long time ago. Not only did we have record players in those days, but the record player was run by tubes. Way back before probably you were born, things were run by tubes. TVs had tubes in them and they would heat up and they would emit light. And so there were holes in the side of the record player to let the heat out. They also let light out. So it looked to me like little windows. It looked to me like there were people inside the record player dancing and creating the music. They were playing violins, they were singing, they were playing the piano. In my imagination, that's what was happening inside my record player, and that's where the music was coming from, the people inside the record player. Of course, there were no people inside the record player, but I imagined it. That was only possible because in my house, people played music for real. People played the piano. People came over and played their trumpets, and we sang. It was really, really fun. But to me, that was just normal life. Also, we went to live musical events and I saw orchestras. I saw dancers dancing to the music the orchestra was making. So I could imagine all of these things when I was looking at my record player and seeing the lighted up holes. I could imagine that there were people inside doing that because I had seen people do that. I knew people made music. So when I wanted to make music, it was a no-brainer. Of course I was going to make music because that's what people do. It's not that I was a musical genius. It was that I was exposed to the language all the time. So what do if you don't know anybody who plays the violin to invite over? Or what if you don't play the piano? Or what if you aren't comfortable singing? You can do those things because I guarantee you're better at it than your baby. You can do those things around your baby and expose your baby to live musical performance. And then your baby will know, oh, people do this. This is not something that an iPad does. People do it. You can actually learn music right along with your baby, keep ahead of your baby, enough to inspire them every day so that when they're bigger and they're curious about music, they already understand it. First, they know people do this. I'm people. I can do this. Second, they understand the ups and downs of the music. They understand the notation because you showed them. They do it in the same way they learn how to talk, because you talk. Not because you're a talking teacher, but because you talk. I can teach you how to do this. It's so much fun and it's easier than you think. Baby-Led Piano Weekly is a course that streams out once a week. You get a little email in your inbox with a link to a video. You have a short 3-minute video you can watch and I show you some tiny thing to melt into life with your baby. You don't have to sit down and have music class. What is more important is that you can just integrate this into your life. You're already having story time with your baby. Why not add a musical storybook with songs that are teaching your baby musical concepts? They're not only fun songs, but they have specific musical concepts embedded in them that I will teach you in this once a week little tiny course. Music is a big thing. Have you seen sheet music? Have you seen a conductor's score? Music, there is so much that you can learn about music, but breaking it down to the tiniest elements, that's a different trick. It's taken me a long time to accomplish this, and I have got it done for you so that the pieces are bite-sized, understandable, and more importantly, doable. Because just because it's in your head doesn't mean it's easy to incorporate into your life. But these are, and I'm going to show you how. If you want to join, you have some options. You can join for $7 a month for 1 year. You can unsubscribe anytime you want if it's not working out for you. Or you can pay $70 upfront for the entire year. Or if you really want to help support some families who can't even afford this, you can add a little more. Up to you. If you're one of those families who you want to do this, but you just don't have the $7 a month, I get that. I've been there. And so send me an email. There's an option right in the sign-up form. Send me an email. Let's talk about what I can do to help you. Because if you want to do this, if you want to teach music to your baby, I want you to have that opportunity. So come join me at Baby Led Piano Weekly. And if you really like this video, please like it and share it. Please subscribe for some of the ideas, some musical tips, some parenting tips, and some fun stories along the way. Baby Led Piano Weekly is so much fun. You and your baby can start to integrate music into your life so that your baby knows people make music.